Well, we spoke Yiddish. We were Orthodox. We kosher. I couldn't use a pair of scissors on Shabbos. I couldn't turn the radio on Shabbos. It was, we ate only Jewish food. I remember once going to the movies, and I won a bag of groceries, and it was things like a peanut butter and popcorn and all kinds of American stuff, macaroni and cheese. My mother couldn't read the label. She got really mad at me for bringing such food into the house. And so we didn't even know American food. To this day, I can't eat peanut butter. It's somehow a very strange, exotic food that I don't want to even taste. But it was a very Jewish house, and Yom Kippur, my mother would always had a special, I still have it, a tablecloth that would go on the table with a siddur, prayer book, and the Yortzeit, the candles you light for the memory of the dead, and that would be a sign that we don't eat that day. It was a very Jewish home. And also the conversation was very Jewish. My mother had endless stories. I thought she was making them up, and I was a lousy eater. And whenever she would get me to eat, she would tell me a story. I don't think she ever repeated a story twice. And I thought she was making up stories. And she told me about black Jews in Ethiopia called falashes and all kinds of things like that. And later on, when I went to university and I was studying it, I realized these are all true things. Maybe a little bit garbled, but she knew a lot. So I grew up in a very Jewish household. It was a very close neighborhood. We lived in each other's homes. We shared. My mother, if she cooked, she'd send food over to a neighbor if the neighbor cooked. We also had a few Italian families. They joined us also. But Mary, who lived next door, was Italian, knew that we were kosher, so she would send over, if she made something that we could eat, then she would send over spoons and plates, so my mother wouldn't allow us. In the backyard, we could eat it. So I was eating treif even then, I guess, with Mary. But she was the only person whose food I ate that was not Jewish. Other than that, we ate in each other's homes. We did homework together in each other's homes. We played ball on the street, and it was a very a very good neighborhood, and we had a good life on the street. You could get by just speaking Yiddish in that neighborhood. A lot of the kids would play on the street in Yiddish because our parents spoke Yiddish at home, and I really started to learn English really when I went to kindergarten. I told you I went to yeshiva for a few weeks, and I went to public school, and in the public school they had Yiddish-speaking teachers in kindergarten, Mrs. Weissman, who could speak to me the first few days in Yiddish. And it didn't take me long, I don't think how long, a month, and I was speaking English. I probably knew some of it because I had heard it, but the fact is that they had to edge us in. So the kids, and my class was 98% Jewish. We may have had one Italian girl, I remember, who was in our class, and one Jewish backstory, a little black boy was in our class, and the rest was all Jewish.